Today, we're going to talk about AI not being the thing that's going to save your coaching business. That's our title today. We're also going to talk about why you do need AI. Regardless, you are definitely going to need AI as you build a coaching business.
What is the uncomfortable thing that you're avoiding? And are you hoping that the AI model is going to help you do that? First of all, it won't do that because first of all, it's programmed to confirm whatever you're telling it to. You can force it to challenge you, but in most cases, it's programmed to confirm. You're not going to force it to challenge you if you're uncomfortable to begin with. Your mind won't let you.
We want to talk a lot about this today because I think AI seems like a panacea or a silver bullet for a lot of things, for your content, for your coaching, for all the stuff. AI can do a lot of things. Hey, it's Daniel, and you are about to watch a clip from our free podcast, The Coach's Journey, where we help you navigate the surprisingly difficult path of building a coaching business by people who are actually doing it. And we go live, raw and unedited every week in our free Facebook community. Coaches Nation, welcome to another exciting edition of the Coach's Journey podcast. I say exciting because for coaches, like coaching is exciting, and there's so many parts of coaching that are really relevant. Today, we're going to talk about AI not being the thing that's going to save your coaching business. That's our title today. AI is not going to save your coaching business. And we want to talk a lot about this today because I think, AI seems like a panacea or a silver bullet for a lot of things, for your content, for your coaching, for all the stuff. AI can do a lot of things, but what it can't do yet is save your coaching business. And if your coaching business is in need of saving, there's probably a lot of pieces of the puzzle that you need to be aware of. So we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about why you do need AI. Regardless, you are definitely going to need AI as you build a coaching business. Um, for a lot of reasons in a lot of different ways, but we'll get to that too. So I'm excited to have this conversation. Here with me is Faisal. Faisal, welcome to the podcast too. I'm excited to talk to you.
Very excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about this topic.
Yeah, it's a great topic. I think let's start with the whole marketing AI apocalypse really briefly. Like we're all seeing it in not only in the coaching world but everywhere. Everybody's promoting all their content, their AI generated content, their so many AI promos of things that you got to do. You got to join programs. You got to do all the stuff, right? It's like everywhere now. There's like AI slop as well as some really valuable AI stuff that's being generated out there too. So it's really that's just the baseline of what we're seeing today in the world. And I think it's accelerating. It's going to be more and more, which actually brings me to the idea that coaching as a relational business, the relationships are becoming more and more valuable because we don't really know what's real anymore online, and we don't know who we can trust. I think that's part
Yeah.
of it. So, what do you think
Yeah,
about
for
that,
sure.
Faisal?
And even today in our group, as you were there, that is part of the reason why I recommend build conversations. I don't care if you use AI content, we use it. I don't care if it looks bad. The point is, can you get somebody to a conversation and then really coach them, support them, build a relationship with them? And here's the challenge with a lot of coaches. I think they're thinking that AI is gonna just replace them on the marketing front. And I don't think that's going to be the case for a coaching business that's so relational in nature, because even if you had the best content, at some point they're gonna be in front of you. And that's when the rubber, the potential client's going to be in front of you in a group setting or one-on-one setting, in person, online, whatever it is. That's where the rubber meets the road. And first of all, if they see a huge differentiation between your content and you, you've just lost the trust factor, quite a bit of it. And second, imagine you're not able to move that conversation forward the way you thought you did because you don't have enough practice, because you're thinking, I just need to keep promoting to people. I just need to send them to some page or to some website. But the reality is that AI just makes it easier for you to reach more people, and it'll give you all kinds of tools and ways to do that. But not only does it not replace you, it makes the human side even more valuable, like you said, Daniel.
Yeah, what you remind me of is like the marketing product gap that is often like you see marketing for something like, oh, I gotta get that. You get it and it's super underwhelming. You're like, why did I get this? This is not at all what I thought it was gonna be. It's not worth the marketing hype. And with coaching, it's very nuanced, the difference. It can still be true, but It's about the conversations you're having. It's not about the thing you ordered online that arrived at your house and then you were disappointed. You're getting disappointed in front of the person, that you're having the
Yeah.
conversation with. And so,
Live.
yeah, you're getting disappointed live by the person who's coaching you or whatever. And so the key to building a coaching business is actually continuing to have the conversations and elevating your coaching conversations and your coaching skills in that process. And again, I want to remind everybody there's two kinds of coaching skills. There's the coaching skills that start after you sign the client, which is where most certifications kind of focus. And the coaching skills that you use before the client starts. And that's the coaching skills that take you from when you connected with somebody to when they become your client. And that's a very, yes, there's maybe some AI in there too, but there's a relational part of this for you to build a coaching business based on these conversations. You're going to have to be able to show up at the level that the clients expect you to. And if your AI promises too much and you can't deliver it, then it's going to be, you're wasting a lot of time getting on calls with people who aren't going to buy from you because the AI preceded you and
Yeah.
you weren't able to deliver on that.
I think what AI will do is something even worse because I see this over and over with coaches where they're using AI just like they use any other tool as a way to not do the uncomfortable work.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
just to be in front of people. And we used to do that with building websites. We used to do that with build business plans. Now we're doing it, well, I need to build my 30-day calendar. I need to, and I've asked clients directly about this of like, okay, so what's stopping you from moving forward? You've built your 30-day calendar. They
I
don't
got to do another
have
AI
that.
thing first.
It's like I need to make sure it's good. I need to review all of it. How do you know it's good without putting it out there? How do you know it will be good? How do you know how it will be received? And that's what I fear. Any tool will do will only promote what you're trying to promote within it. And if you're promoting this, like if you're running away from something, the tool will help you run away faster. It is like it's not going to help you. But in the meantime, the tool is actually incredibly, AI is incredibly powerful. If you're actually doing the work, then it amplifies that work to a whole other level because now you can do 10 times more, maybe 100 times more.
Yeah, 100% true. Just like every tool, right? Like the internet allowed us to do so many more things, but also allowed us to be just so distracted, right? And so I think one of the things that is really easy to get deep into in any AI, I'm talking about LLMs here, you do those chatbots, the ChatGPT, Claude, all the LLMs, Grok, whatever you use. It's really easy to get really deep into conversations and really deep into conversations that don't matter as much when it's not actually moving your business forward. And one of the things that you'll notice is that perfectionism as a thing gets so much more possible because and the thing about perfectionism is you never get to perfect because if you think about perfecting the 30-day plan that Faisal was just referring to or perfecting the document to make it perfect, you can keep on going and going and going and going and going, and AI will never stop you. You're like, I want to make it better. I want to make it better. There's ways to make it better. So learning to what's the art of the 80/20 is part of that. Like where's the 80% that you can do with 20% of the time, but also making sure that the thing that you're working on actually does matter. Like what's the needle mover in your business? Usually the needle mover for coaches is are they doing the hard work of generating the conversations, getting on calls with people, actually talking to people, and taking them through the process, the sales process or the getting to know you process that becomes the sales process, that becomes the coaching client, that then you coach for a longer period of time. That what are the steps of that process is what we work with clients on in CMC. Like that's what we're constantly focusing on. And it's hard to stay focused on it because it's pretty hard work, you know.
Yeah, and often what we find is that every time, so whenever a client comes into our community, they always get at least they start with one-on-one session. The process is fairly straightforward. We have recorded it. In fact, we teach it in our workshop, and right now we're promoting a workshop. So if you're in the group live, you're getting it. Definitely be there because the two and a half workshop we're going a deep dive into what the process is. You will get it. You'll get exactly what it is. We're not holding anything back. But here's what happens when I have that first call or when Daniel has that first call with somebody. More often than not, it's not that the process is a problem. It's that the coach has such a discomfort with putting themselves out there, or reaching out to somebody, or building a conversation, or leading the conversation to the next level, or making an offer. All of it is a discomfort process, and that's the process of growth. And the problem is that like this language we're using, 80/20, get out of your comfort zone. It's so ubiquitous. It's used in every book, and coaches know it inside out. But just because you know the intellectual language doesn't mean you've done it. So my question would be is how what is the uncomfortable thing that you're avoiding? And are you hoping that the AI model is going to help you do that? First of all, it won't do that because first of all, it's programmed to confirm whatever you're telling it to. You can force it to challenge you, but in most cases, it's programmed to confirm. You're not going to force it to challenge you if you're uncomfortable to begin with. Your mind won't let you. So it's just going to keep telling you, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great move. Let's work through this some more. And it will not stop. And on top of that, it's a platform just like Facebook. It wants you to be there constantly. That's how they will get paid. So you don't we don't realize an AI has models have a much better way of engaging you because it starts to learn everything about you. It knows a lot more about you than you do. It was funny. I was just inputting something about my health, and it pulled out something from months ago. I entered there, and I'm like, how the hell does this?
That's the dope.
I forgot about it, but it didn't forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I've found myself doing when I'm interacting with AI? The last paragraph it always puts is, let's do this, this, or this, like which way do you want to go? And I'm like, I just kind of stop reading that paragraph because I don't want to know what it wants me to do. Sometimes I notice I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a good idea, but I actually want it, like, I want to direct the action and make sure it's focused on what I want it to focus on, which takes a lot of work and a lot of thought. And it's really easy to go down the rabbit holes with AI, but it's about your thinking. It's about you being in charge and using AI as a tool. And AI can definitely help you with your thinking in some cases, but how good are you at ignoring the AI suggestions and going and saying no to the AI? Like if you're not saying no to AI a lot, you're probably rabbit holing down things you don't need to rabbit hole. You're probably not focused on the right things. So if you want to build a coaching business, like Faisal said, the key is the conversations. And it's so easy to distract yourself with AI. And it's kind of fun, to be honest, and it's engineered. It's like way worse than Facebook because Facebook is engineered to get your attention in a way that like it's obviously designed and all it's like we're used to social media now, and it's like we know that it's designed to take us away and keep us on time on platform as their metric, right? But AI doesn't feel like it was designed that way. It feels like a conversation we're having, right? It's like simulating this conversation, and it's even more subtle because it really wants you to stay online with it all the time on platform. Eventually, they're gonna monetize the ads and stuff that it'll send to you. But for now, the more of a habit you build with this platform, the better chance of retention they have from you switching to the other LLM. And so, like so it's actually like it knows how to analyze your words, your language. It's gonna take you wherever it can, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, there's a danger there too because it'll
Yeah,
know how
and
to keep you interested. It's like the perfectly engineered thing that gets all your language patterns and figures you out before you even know what's
yeah.
happening. And then it can like it's like actually a scary level influence that it could have on you, right?
And it does, and that's there was a paper somebody put up the summary of a paper somebody had put in the scientific world that was published. I think it was called the memory paradox with AI. Is that AI has a lot more influence than you think in the way that you think, and what it was trying to say is that your thinking ability could get eroded as you rely more on AI to do the thinking for you.
I've noticed that myself.
If you use it, and that's part of the reason I told you this a few weeks ago or months ago, I told you I stopped using it as much. I actually stopped using it for all my training that I do, especially the training that I do every other week. It would be so much easier, and I did it a couple of times, and I realized that my training was the way I would approach my clients was affected by the way that AI was thinking. But and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I could turn it into my
Decent.
tone, and I brought in my elements into it. But I could tell the overarching narrative and theme was built by AI, even though I gave it elements. So I stopped looking at it. I started with mine, and then I brought AI. I started doing this. I just have this and this, and I started creating an idea chart for myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start with this, go to this, go to this. Didn't need a consultant. I just based it on my experience with people, with myself, with the clients that I've worked with, and I brought in the elements that are the most important to them. Now, could I use AI to improve it? I could, but I wanted to keep the authenticity. That completely changed the way my training came out. And actually the shorts, I actually use that for my content too. You could tell it's getting a lot more engagement because it's much more from me. You could tell there's a lot more conviction in it too. But again, back to that study, that your ability to think, your ability to be human, your ability to reflect, to be present, those are your mind's skill sets, and those are the muscles of your mind in a sense. And if you're not exercising, then all you're doing is getting your input from AI constantly. When you are in a conversation with somebody, and this goes back to this tech CEO said this, which I loved. He said that since the beginning of the industrial age, we've been acting a lot like robots in the hope that we would create a robotic world, which we did. But maybe the point of AI is for us to become more human, move away from that. And maybe this is an opportunity for, and I think that's, if it is, I love that idea, but I think that's more true in the coaching world than anywhere else. Your presence, your energy, how, what the things that you notice, the energetic shifts, that's not going to come from AI. You can have a foolproof plan and you're going to throw it away within a session, whether it's group, one-on-one, in person, or online, if you do this well. But if you rely on AI and you don't bring those abilities, there's a huge danger to your skill set. So you'll be replaceable, just like any other job.
Yeah, I think the thing you're talking about, how AI can make us more human, I think that's, the way my theory is that the more AI we have and the more machine robotic things that we build, and automations and stuff, the thing that's going to become more valuable is the human interaction, the human experience, the
Yeah.
humanity, the ability to double down on on your humanity, right? That's where the real value is going to be, because people are going to need that even more, especially as things change, especially as the relationships are now fewer and farther between because everybody's stuck on their AIs. Like just like social media, it's like it's made people less present. I think AI might have the chance to make us more present because we actually reject the concept of like just being plugged into AI all the time. And I think coaching itself is a relational business, and I think the value of relationships and the value of having these relational connections are going to go up in people's mind because they have a real human in front of them. I'm already seeing that for myself. Like, talking to a human way outweighs the AI, but I can still get value from the AI. But you need to have, like you were designing a group session. When I design a group session, I do it on a whiteboard. And then if I bring somebody else in, it's so much better to design it together. Somebody who has some experience in this area. Then I can take that plan and give it to AI to refine. But when I start with AI and outsource my whole thinking, uh, the plan is usually like going to constrain my iterations,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a lot less of quality. So that's my thought is the relational aspect are going to become more and more valuable as we lose that in our AI interactions.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll share a direct experience working with clients just the past 6 months, especially on the clients who are on the younger end, 30 to between 30 and 40s. Well, I guess that uh, early 40, that puts me in the older category.
Your clients might not have anything to do with your age.
Right. So those clients, they've already when they get on a call with me, and they're pretty upfront. They're like, "Hey, you know what? I've talked to a therapist. I worked with my AI coach the past few years. There's this one area I cannot figure it out." And they think it's one
One
area.
one
It's not.
area, you think? They said one
Uh,
area, you said?
one area of their life they can't figure it out, so they're stuck in that area. What they're seeing is the effect of it, but they haven't had a really good coach, and even if they've worked with it in the past, you can tell in their mind AI is very equivalent to that coach. And for example, I did a session with somebody a couple of weeks ago, I think, and by the end of it, it was interesting how he framed it. He said that I had figured out these patterns. I never realized the impact of it to this degree on my life. And he said a couple of things. He's gonna actually have a call booked end of the month with him, but he kind of admitted, sort of like sheepishly, that I'm sort of like a coach and advisor to some of my friends and relatives who are entrepreneurs. After this session, I realized they need a real coach. but he had a standard based on he had a coach in the past a few years ago. Now he's using AI. He's working with others, and of course, there's value in that process. But when he went through the process, he saw the depth of coaching. That didn't come from AI. That didn't come from any plan. That just came from two people in front of each other working through something.
Yeah, I think that comes from life experience and a lot of conversations, right? For coaches.
Yeah.
So that's where we bring you back to like, if you're not going to be willing to have the conversations, then AI is not going to save your coaching business. That's where all the magic happens is in the conversations. And the more conversations you have, the faster your skills grow and the faster your ability to build your business grows. And that's where all of the juice is in having those conversations and also leading those conversations to the next step. Very important part of that. Anyways, on this is such a deep skill set that we actually run workshops on it sometimes. And so we have a new workshop coming up, cmc.coach/workshop. It's on June 10th. If you're watching this live, share with your friends who are coaches. We're going to be there live taking hot seats. We're going to be presenting like how to think about that skill set before the client signs, which is the one that is the most important because if you don't get that one down, you're not going to, the skill sets after this client signs don't really matter because they're not going to sign up. And so like the nice thing about building your skill sets up in the sales process for that process is that that's really powerful coaching skills. Those are the hardest coaching skills actually in some ways because getting people to buy something from you actually takes a very high level of coaching mastery because you're not going to be able to get somebody to want to work with you if you haven't demonstrated your coaching abilities already. So
Yeah.
that's part of the experience that you give them in your discovery session. And we can talk a lot about that on our workshop with you, but we encourage you come to the workshop, share it with your coaching friends because this is an area that most places you go will never talk about. Most certifications are not focused in this area, and they don't tell you how do you take your business from meeting somebody to turning them into a client. Yeah, the coaching doesn't start at that point. It already started. It started when you met them. And part of that is how do you build a relational business? And also not push it on people so that you're not being that icky, desperate, needy coach who's like, oh, everybody's going to be my client. That's not really going to work. It's not really going to be effective and it actually repels people. So we want to share how this works with everybody on our workshop. And there's a lot of depth to that. We want you to be able to build that skill set.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're listening to this outside the live, definitely reach out to us. Go to cmc.coach, join our community for free, and put a comment here. What was your biggest insight? We'll reach out to you. But we're modeling what we're teaching you. We're not hoping that our content will sell our program. We're actually walking you through our process. We're supporting you. We're working through it as a coach, as a mentor, and that process can be very powerful when, especially if you're in an environment like that with other coaches who are struggling through similar things versus you sitting in your own corner feeling alone, left out, and feeling like this is harder than it seems. So looking forward to seeing you there. Definitely reach out to us, even if it's after the workshop. Go to cmc.coach, join our free community. You'll get a lot of value. These podcasts go for free. But until our next conversation, hope you have an incredible day.
See you later.
Take care.